Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something you may have never heard before, or maybe you have, but today you're going to understand it. Hard work alone does not guarantee success. If hard work were the key, every construction worker, single mom, and late night janitor would be a millionaire, but they're not. Why? Because it's not just about working hard, it's about working smart. Today, I'm going to give you a new set of lenses, a new framework for how you think about success. This isn't about grinding your soul into the ground. This is about strategy, leverage, and intelligent action. If you want to be successful, the first principle you must embrace is this: leverage beats labor. It doesn't just outperform it, it destroys it. This one idea separates those who struggle for decades from those who build wealth in years. Most people have been trained from childhood to believe that the harder you work, the more you'll make. But in reality, the marketplace does not reward sweat. It rewards strategy. Labor is linear. Leverage is exponential. Let's break it down. Labor means you're the one doing the work. You're using your time, your energy, your effort to produce a result. You work an hour, you get paid for that hour. You stop working, the income stops. But leverage means you set something in motion that continues to work even when you don't. It's multiplying your effort through systems, tools, people, or capital. Leverage is what allows one person to do what it takes 10 others to accomplish manually. It's the engine behind wealth creation. Now, I'm not saying labor doesn't matter. In the beginning, sometimes you've got to put in the hustle, sometimes you have to grind, but the grind is never the goal. The grind is the gear shift. It gets the engine started, but once that machine is running, it should carry itself forward with momentum. If you stay in grind mode forever, you'll wear yourself down to dust. That's not success. That's slavery with a smile. Let me give you an example. Imagine two people, both want to earn $100 this year. Person decides to work 60 hours a week at $30 an hour. That means over the course of the year, they will have to work over 300 hours. They're exhausted, drained, and they're trading their life away just to make it. Person B, on the other hand, builds an online course or a sales funnel or an affiliate marketing system, something that can be used over and over without needing them to press the buttons every time. They spend 100 hours building that thing, but then it sells automatically. It markets itself. It delivers itself. That's leverage. They made one move, and that move makes money repeatedly. See, when you understand leverage, you stop asking, how can I work harder? And you start asking, what can I create that works even when I'm not? That shift in thinking is everything. It moves you from being a doer to being a designer, from being a player on the field to being the owner of the team. From being the laborer to becoming the leader. You stop using your body as a tool, and you start using your mind as the machine. Here's another layer to it. There are different types of leverage. The most common and the most underutilized is people leverage ***. That's where you train someone else to do what you do, or even better, you hire someone who already does it better than you. Delegation is not a weakness. It's a form of wisdom. When you hire someone for $20 an hour to do something that frees you up to make $200 an hour, that's a smart play. The old mentality says, I can do it myself. The wealthy mentality says, who can I get to do this better, faster, more consistently than me? Then there's systems leverage ***. Systems are the silent employees in your business. It's the CRM that follows up with clients automatically. It's the email sequence that nurtures leads while you sleep. It's the calendar app that books appointments while you're at dinner. Systems allow you to scale without burning out. They replace repetitive tasks with automated processes. The goal is not to do more, it's to need less of you to get more done. Next is software leverage ***. We're living in a world where tools exist to make your life easier, but most people aren't using them. If it takes you 2 hours to do something that a $50/month app can do in 5 minutes, you're not being frugal. You're being foolish. The goal is to use technology to enhance your productivity, not become a prisoner to low-value tasks. Another powerful type is capital leverage ***. This is when you use money to make more money, when you invest not just to earn interest, but to buy time. Maybe you buy advertising to reach more people. Maybe you buy equipment that speeds up production. Maybe you buy into a business or a brand that's already proven. Money is a tool, and if you don't use it to buy leverage, you'll always be stuck in the labor loop, spinning your wheels while others pass you by. And finally, there's intellectual leverage that's the power of knowledge and ideas. A single insight can be worth millions if it's applied. This is why people pay tens of thousands to be in the right room, at the right table, with the right mentor. Because one sentence from the right person can save you 10 years of trial and error. Smart people don't just work smart. They learn smart. They study leverage. They think leverage. They act on leverage. They make every move count. When you live with this mindset, you start asking new kinds of questions. Instead of, how can I afford this? You ask, how can this pay for itself? Instead of, how long will this take me? You ask, who or what can do this faster? You flip the script from effort to efficiency, from grind to growth. Leverage is the secret sauce that turns time into freedom, effort into equity, and work into wealth. Success is not about doing everything. It's about doing the right thing, and doing it extremely well. One of the biggest mistakes people make is trying to be everything to everyone. They try to master every skill, touch every part of their business, respond to every message, learn every platform, and in the end, they become diluted. Their results are mediocre, their energy is scattered, and their impact is minimal. If you want to win, truly win, you've got to master one skill first. Dominate it, own it. Make it your weapon of influence, your tool of transformation, your economic engine. Let's get one thing clear. Mastery creates momentum. When you master one you position yourself as an expert, not a generalist, and in the marketplace, experts get paid more. Not because they work more hours, but because they produce better results. Mastery is not about being the best in the world. It's about being the best in your world, in your space, for your market. When you pick one skill and go deep, you start to see connections, patterns, insights that others miss. You develop speed, precision, and confidence, and that confidence translates directly into credibility, influence, and income. The key is to choose the right skill, not just what's trending, not just what's easy, but a skill that's valuable, scalable, and aligned with your purpose. High-income skills like sales, copywriting, digital marketing, speaking, leadership, negotiation. These are skills that allow you to create and capture value in almost any business. When you learn how to sell, you'll never be broke. When you know how to write words that move people, you can close deals, fill events, sell products, raise capital. When you know how to communicate with power and clarity, you can lead teams, influence decisions, and command attention in any room. Once you choose your skill, you must commit to it. You don't dabble. You don't try it for a few weeks and move on. You own it. That means studying it daily, practicing it intentionally, and surrounding yourself with people who are already excellent at it. You find mentors, books, podcasts, courses, not because you're desperate, but because you're obsessed with mastery. People who work smart don't try to reinvent the wheel. They study proven models, they model success, and they apply with urgency. It's not about copying. It's about compressing time by standing on the shoulders of those who have already built the thing you're trying to build. And here's where it gets powerful. Once you master one skill, you use that skill to multiply your influence and your income across other areas. You don't stay stuck doing the same thing forever. You scale it, you teach it, you automate parts of it. You apply it to new markets, new models, new levels of value. For example, let's say your first skill is sales. You get really good at selling one-on-one. Then you move to selling from stage or through webinars or by building a sales team. Then maybe you build a program teaching others how to sell. Then you license your process. Now you've multiplied the impact of one skill into a business, a brand, and a legacy. That's smart work. People who try to do too much too soon never go deep enough to create breakthrough. They jump from opportunity to opportunity, tactic to tactic, thinking the next thing will be the big thing. But what they're missing is this: success doesn't come from addition, it comes from asterisk amplification asterisk. Amplify what you already do well, get so good they can't ignore you, then and only then do you earn the right to branch out, to expand, to diversify. Not from a place of desperation, but from a foundation of dominance. One skill mastered gives you options, it gives you confidence, it gives you access. You walk into rooms differently when you know you can deliver. You negotiate differently when you know your value. You show up with posture, not pressure. That's the difference between someone who's guessing and someone who's grounded. Mastery grounds you, it stabilizes your business. It stabilizes your income. It gives you a clear path forward instead of 1,000 distractions pulling you in 1,000 directions. And mastery is not a one-time event. It's a continual process of refinement. You don't stop sharpening the sword just because it's already cut a few things. You keep sharpening because the sharper it is, the faster it moves, the more effortless it becomes. Smart workers aren't looking for shortcuts. They're looking for clarity, they're looking for leverage, and the fastest path to both is to get exceptionally good at one thing first. That one thing becomes your unfair advantage, your calling card, your differentiator in a noisy world. And when you've built that foundation, you now have something you can use to create partnerships, to collaborate, to license, to teach, to monetize in multiple ways. But it all starts with the decision to stop being a jack of all trades and become a master of asterisk one asterisk. You don't need to do everything. You need to do asterisk something asterisk with excellence, something that the world will pay for. Something that solves real problems, something that scales with systems, with support, with strategy. There is power in focus, power in depth, power in mastery. One skill, well developed, will open more doors than 100 skills you barely understand. That's how you multiply your results without multiplying your effort. That's how you go from working hard to working smart. You start by mastering one thing, then you make that one thing work for you. Busy doesn't mean productive. Being in motion doesn't mean you're moving forward. One of the biggest illusions in the pursuit of success is thinking that activity equals achievement. People wake up early, check emails, go to meetings, update spreadsheets, attend calls, scroll through their to-do lists. And at the end of the day, they feel exhausted but wonder why they haven't made any real progress. That's because they're addicted to activity, not committed to outcomes. To work smart, not hard, you have to rewire your thinking from doing more things to doing the asterisk right asterisk things. You must prioritize outcomes over activities. That single shift changes everything. The world doesn't reward you for how busy you are. It rewards you for how effective you are. If you spend all day moving papers around but don't produce results, your income won't grow. Your influence won't grow. Your impact won't grow. On the other hand, if you focus on high-leverage activities that actually produce outcomes, whether that's making a sale, closing a deal, launching a product, solving a critical problem, then you start to experience exponential results. Smart workers ask themselves constantly, is what I'm doing moving me closer to my ultimate goal, or am I just doing it because it's what I've always done? Most people operate from habit, not strategy. They wake up and fall into their routine without asking whether the routine is designed to produce outcomes. They confuse structure with progress. But working smart means you constantly challenge your routine. You analyze it, you optimize it, you eliminate what doesn't move the needle. You look at your calendar and ask, is this full of things that make me look busy, or things that actually build my future? Being fully booked doesn't mean you're productive. Sometimes, being fully booked just means you've mastered the art of wasting time with style. Let's take an example. You spend 3 hours formatting a presentation deck, adjusting colors, tweaking fonts, reorganizing slides. It looks beautiful, but the client you're sending it to really only cares about the big idea and the bottom line. You could have spent 30 minutes creating something clean and focused. and use the rest of the time to follow up on leads, close new business, or deepen a relationship with a key partner. The outcome wasn't the deck. The outcome was the sale. The deck was just a tool, but if the tool becomes the obsession, the goal gets lost. This is how people work hard on the wrong things and still feel stuck. Working smart means knowing the difference between motion and momentum. Motion feels like progress, but it doesn't necessarily move you forward. Momentum, on the other hand, builds on itself. It accelerates you, it compounds, and momentum only comes when you take actions that generate real, measurable results. It's not about how much you do, it's about what your actions produce. If you spend 8 hours doing low-impact tasks, you'll stay in the same place. But if you spend 1 hour making a single decision that unlocks a new client, system, or strategy, that 1 hour is worth more than all the others combined. One of the smartest things you can do is identify your highest value activities. These are the things only you can do, the things that create disproportionate returns, the things that align with your strengths and move you closer to your vision. Everything else, it's noise. It can be automated, delegated, or deleted. Smart workers guard their time like it's treasure because it is. They don't let urgent things steal time from important things. They don't let the immediate override the impactful. They protect their focus because they understand that results are born in moments of deep, uninterrupted attention. The temptation to stay busy is strong. Busyness makes you feel useful. It gives you an excuse not to confront the hard questions, but being busy is often just a way to avoid being bold. It's easier to fill your day with small wins than to face the big decisions that create real change. It's easier to stay in a comfort zone of controlled chaos than to step into strategic clarity. But if you want to rise above average, you have to break that cycle. You have to stop worshiping activity and start worshiping results. You have to stop asking, "What do I need to do today?" and start asking, "What result do I need to create this week?" This means redefining productivity. Productivity isn't about doing more, it's about creating more value with less effort. It's about solving the right problems, not every problem. It's about asking better questions. What outcome does this task drive? Is this aligned with my bigger vision? Can this be done more efficiently or by someone else? Is this even necessary at all? These questions filter out the fluff and bring your focus to the core. And in that core is where smart work lives. Smart work is strategic. It's intentional. It's ruthless with distraction and obsessive about clarity. It doesn't chase every shiny object, it focuses on what moves the mission forward. It doesn't aim for perfection in everything. It aims for progress in the right things. The person who masters this mindset doesn't just get more done. They get more important things done. They rise faster, they earn more, they create more impact in less time, they build leverage into every day. They make sure that every hour invested compounds into results that matter. Because success is not about being the busiest person in the room, it's about being the most effective one. The most valuable currency in the world is not money, it's time. You can lose money and make it back. You can lose an opportunity and find another one. But once time is gone, it's gone forever. People who work smart understand this at a deep level. They don't just try to manage time. They learn how to multiply it. They know that time is not just something to be spent. It's something to be invested. Every hour either becomes a seed or a sacrifice. You're either planting it for a future harvest or giving it away to distractions and dead ends. The average person spends too much time on low-return activities. They wake up and immediately dive into things that keep them busy but don't move them forward. They check notifications, they scroll through social media, they respond to emails that could have waited. They spend hours doing tasks that could have been automated, delegated, or deleted entirely. Then they wonder why there's no progress. Smart workers understand that every moment has a value tag attached to it. Some hours are worth $10. Some are worth $10, 000. The key is knowing the difference and acting accordingly. You multiply time by making decisions today that create freedom tomorrow. When you build a system, you're multiplying time. When you train someone to take over a task, you're multiplying time. When you invest an hour to solve a problem permanently instead of temporarily fixing it over and over again, you're multiplying time. Smart workers live in the land of leverage. They ask themselves, what can I do right now that will save me 10 hours later? What can I set up today that will continue working even when I'm asleep, on vacation, or working on something else? This is why prioritization matters so much. Most people create to-do lists. Smart people create asterisk to don't asterisk lists. They are crystal clear on what they will not allow to steal their time. They know how to say no, not out of arrogance, but out of clarity. They don't agree to every meeting. They don't take every phone call. They don't let other people's emergencies become their responsibilities. Every yes is a no to something else, and smart workers make sure that their yeses are only to things that align with their purpose, their goals, and their highest contribution. You don't multiply time by doing everything faster. You multiply time by doing fewer things better. You focus on what matters most. That means identifying your time multipliers, the activities that, once done, make other tasks easier or unnecessary. Learning how to use automation tools, setting up content that can be repurposed, creating templates for repeatable work, hiring the right team, building a clear client onboarding system. These are all time multipliers. They require effort upfront, but they create dividends of freedom and focus in the future. Working smart means stepping back to see the big picture. Too many people are stuck in the weeds, dealing with small fires every day. They never rise above their schedule to ask the big questions. What is consuming my time that isn't producing results? Where am I the bottleneck in my own process? What tasks am I holding onto out of habit or fear instead of strategy? Multiplying time begins with that kind of awareness. You can't fix what you won't face, and you can't optimize what you haven't observed. One powerful way to multiply time is through intentional planning. Smart people don't just plan their day. They asterisk design asterisk it. They batch similar tasks together to reduce context switching. They block out time for deep work and protect it like sacred ground. They start the day with clarity about their top 1 to 3 outcomes, not a scattered list of 20 things to try and touch. They know that overwhelm is a symptom of unclear priorities. When you're clear on what matters, you don't need more time, you need more focus. Another multiplier is energy management, because how you feel affects how you function. If you're tired, distracted, unhealthy, or emotionally drained, you'll work twice as long to produce half the result. Smart workers optimize not just their schedule, but their state. They build habits that fuel them: nutrition, rest, movement, reflection. They understand that burnout isn't a badge of honor. It's a sign that you've been withdrawing from your energy account without making enough deposits. And when your energy is bankrupt, your time becomes worthless because you can't use it effectively. Delegation is also a major time multiplier. Every hour you free up by having someone else do something gives you the opportunity to focus on your genius. But delegation isn't dumping, it's intentional transfer. It requires clear systems, trust, and training. Smart workers don't just hire people, they empower them. They teach them the outcome, not just the task. They delegate results, not just responsibilities. This multiplies time because now the team is not just helping, they're replicating your effectiveness at scale. And then there's the mental multiplier: decision fatigue. Every decision drains your cognitive battery. Smart people minimize decisions around the things that don't matter so they can preserve energy for the ones that do. They automate routines, use checklists, set defaults, and remove unnecessary options. Why spend 10 minutes figuring out what to wear every morning when that brainpower could be spent closing deals or designing strategy? Multiply time by eliminating decision clutter. Finally, smart workers treat time as sacred. They don't kill it, they don't waste it waiting, wondering, or wandering. They approach each hour with intention, not with anxiety, but with awareness, because when you realize that every hour is a non-renewable asset, you stop giving it away cheaply. You start using it to build something lasting, something that works even when you don't. That's what it means to multiply time. That's what it means to work smart. There's a difference between working hard for a paycheck and working smart for a purpose. When you work hard, you're trading hours for dollars. When you work smart, you're building value that outlives the hours, and that shift starts when you stop seeing yourself as just an employee and start seeing yourself as an asset. Smart workers don't just show up to do a job. They show up to create impact, to solve problems, to deliver outcomes. They treat themselves like a business within a business. They understand that their time, energy, skills, and decisions are investments, not just efforts. And like any smart investor, they demand a return. People who work smart understand that every day is a transaction. You're giving something away, your focus, your talent, your effort, and in exchange you should be receiving something that builds your future. That might be income, but it could also be skills, relationships, access, reputation, or freedom. If the return isn't there, smart workers don't just work harder, they evaluate. They ask, what am I really getting out of this? Am I just staying busy, or am I becoming better, wiser, stronger, and more valuable every single day? They know that you don't get wealthy by staying in motion. You get wealthy by moving in the right direction. Part of working smart is identifying the difference between effort and impact. There are things that take a lot of effort, but have very little impact. And there are things that may not look flashy, but they shift everything. One strategic conversation, one well-written message, one perfectly timed decision can create more results than weeks of effort. Smart workers know how to spot leverage. They don't ask, what's the hardest thing I can do today? They ask, what's the most valuable thing I can do today? They understand that sometimes resting, thinking, and planning creates more impact than rushing, grinding, and reacting. You don't become successful by being everywhere doing everything. You become successful by being effective where it matters. That means you've got to know your lane. You've got to know your strengths, your unique value, and where you produce the most return. Smart people double down on their strengths and delegate their weaknesses. They don't waste time trying to be average at everything. They build partnerships, systems, and support that allow them to stay in their zone of genius. They understand that success is a team sport and that working smart means building the right team around you, even if it's just a few key people who multiply your output. Smart workers are also students of pattern. They pay attention to what's working and they repeat it. They notice when something creates a breakthrough, and instead of celebrating once and moving on, they turn it into a process. They create playbooks. They build repeatable systems. That's how they scale results without scaling stress. They're not constantly reinventing the wheel. They're perfecting the machine. They know that consistency creates compound returns, and every system they build today saves time, energy, and money tomorrow. Another layer of smart work is strategic communication. People who work hard often try to do everything themselves. People who work smart know that a 5-minute conversation can save 5 hours of confusion. They clarify expectations, communicate clearly, and make sure that everyone is rowing in the same direction. They don't let ego, fear, or assumptions create barriers. They ask questions, they verify. They document, and because of that, they avoid the mess that comes from poor communication, missed deadlines, wasted work, or broken relationships. Working smart means mastering how you speak, listen, write, and lead. It also means thinking in terms of value creation. People who work smart don't chase money directly. They chase value because they know money follows value. They ask, how can I solve a bigger problem? How can I serve at a higher level? How can I help this person win faster, easier, or with more confidence? When you focus on creating massive value, you naturally separate yourself from the competition. You're no longer just doing tasks. You're delivering transformation, and transformation is what people pay premium prices for. That's how you move from working in a job to working on a mission. Smart workers are also masters of mindset. They understand that the way they think shapes the way they perform . They don't let fear run the show. They don't let procrastination delay their destiny. They don't wait for motivation. They create momentum through action. They take ownership, not excuses. They take responsibility, not refuge. They believe that they can design their success by being intentional with their time, strategic with their skills, and courageous with their choices. That mindset doesn't just change their day, it changes their entire trajectory. And finally, working smart requires vision, not just seeing what's urgent, but what's important. Not just what's happening now, but what's possible next. Smart workers are future-focused. They think in seasons, not just seconds. They plan their growth. They don't just execute. They elevate. They ask themselves, where is this taking me? Who am I becoming? What will this decision look like in 5 years? They live with purpose and they work with clarity. Because when you know where you're going, every step becomes strategic. Every move has meaning. Every action is a seed toward a bigger harvest. Smart work is about precision. It's about knowing the difference between movement and progress, between busy and effective, between being available and being valuable. One of the key shifts that separates successful people from the masses is their ability to focus. Not the kind of focus that just means concentration, but the kind of focus that filters everything through a lens of purpose. When you work smart, you don't just ask, what should I do? You ask, what should I ignore? Because saying no is just as powerful, sometimes even more powerful, than saying yes. Every minute you spend on the wrong thing is a minute you can't spend on the right thing. That's the cost of distraction. And in a world full of distractions, emails, messages, notifications, social media, meetings, opinions, your ability to protect your focus becomes a competitive advantage. People who work smart aren't easily pulled in 100 directions. They've trained themselves to ignore the noise.